Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Bootser. Black Hand of the Mexican Mafia. Prison gang politics.
Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored. Welcome back to another episode of Being Made. This is a series where I show you the video clips of the initial interview process that I went through with Chris Blatchford in making the Black Hand book. So if you'll recall, it was in the same place that the Perico debrief took place, my debrief took place, and a bunch of others. Believe me, we're not the first, we won't be the last. But this is a process by which we extracted the bulk of the manuscript for the Black Hand, the biography on my life, in the mob. But before I go any further, I want to tell you about Hector Bravo's new channel. My brother just got back from the Middle East and started a new channel. And I wanted to give it a shout out because Hector Bravo puts out some awesome content. And I wanted to give you this visual. It's at Hector Bravo HQ. So all my subscribers, I suggest you go check out his content. Subscribe. Let's support the brother. He needs the boost. I know that he had some difficulties with his channel and may have gotten demonetized, so he started a new one. So let's support the bro. There you go, brother. Hector Bravo HQ, at Hector Bravo HQ. You got my full support. Now, let's get on with this. The debrief. Look at the grainy video, right? It's really grainy. This is VHS. We converted it. My editor converted it to digital. And this is me back in my arrogant asshole days, with the mustache and a full head of freaking hair. Oh God, I want to be young again. Nah, I'm happy being old and fat and bald. All right, here we go, folks. Let's kick it off. But before we do, let me just remind you all to hype these videos. Hyping is important. Watching the ads for at least 30 seconds, I mean, that would really boost the channels because there's a lot of ways to support. A lot of you guys can't afford to dish out money, and the memberships are just a way to support us in producing content, right? We do drawings every once in a while for the members, and we do it for random non-members as well. But we try to give back, but in doing so, we need the support of the viewers. That means watching the video in its entirety, leaving a comment, clicking, hitting the hype button, and watching those ads for about 30 seconds. That's what I learned. If we just skip right through the ad, it's bad for us. So you guys have established this channel, obviously. We're almost at 50,000. We're going to have a big giveaway. But for those who can't afford to become members and buy merch on www.realreneenriquez.com, for those who can't go to Patreon and watch the stuff over there, there is this way to support. Watch the ads for 30 seconds at least. Watch the video in its entirety. Hype the video. Leave a comment. Do a thumbs up. That's an easy way. It costs you nothing. And it would really, really be appreciated by the channel. With that said, I had heartburn last night, folks, and it's burning my throat. I apologize for the throaty voice. It's not that. It's not that. Not what you think. It's not woo, woo, woo. Nah, it's not that. Okay, here we go. Let's kick off this video and break it down as we go. Let me jack up the volume to 100. Here we go.
Okay, we're up.
Okay, so I was talking about a family member going to San Diego. Well, one of the funniest things about the family member being in San Diego, figured they were in Mexico, they were with the Mexican Mafia member who was fairly influential and affluent in his organization out there. Was obviously organized, had armored cars, and had counter-surveillance techniques and spotters. And so we're talking about when one of my crew members went over to Mexico to meet with Bat and his crew. Bat wanted to send me a bunch of product over to the United States. He'd get it to me, and I'd distribute it in my hood and have my crew take care of it. But this was cartels, right? These are real cartels, and this is a lot of weight. And I was in Pelican Bay State Prison in Shoe when the proposal came down. In fact, me and Bat talked about it in 1995 when we were transported down to West Valley Detention Center, about 15 of us in a bus for the first 1995 RICO trial. This is when the concept came out. And he says, hey, I'm going to send a message to you, send somebody from your crew over here, and we'll talk business. And what he wanted to do was send people from Southern California over there to do eliminations. That's his primary goal is we need shooters. And if we needed one over on our side, he'd send somebody from over there to come do it over here. Bat was kind of a genius in that. I mean, it was replicating Popeye Barron's template, but Bat was serious. I mean, he had serious resources. This is the first real cartel connection. I know there were a few that have been talked about in the past, but this is the real relationship with the cartels, Bat and Popeye and the Arellano Felix organization.
And went out to Rosarito Beach and offered horse rides, and so they go to the house finally up in the hills in Tijuana, and he asked the family members that were there, would you like a nice dinner? And she says, oh, it's going to be, yeah, great, let's have dinner. So he invites them to dinner, and so you think it's going to be this big, elaborate Mexican meal? It was a can of Hormel hash. It was some Hormel hash in a can in Mexico. And she figured, what is this? You know, this is not Mexican food.
That's just a guy living alone. That's what that is.
It was Hormel hash. And the person couldn't believe this.
Yeah.
She says, well, I can't believe this. Mexican Mafia guy, all his money, everything he's doing, you know, in Mexico. And they prepared me some hash.
Now, see, I heard he had a falling out with the AFO, though.
Well,
and he's not working for some other guy whose name escapes me, Ledesma or something like that.
I know that they had some kind of friction. I heard this. I heard that they wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
And last thing that we were anticipating was they're going to find him on the side of a road somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what we were anticipating. We knew when you got involved with those people that
Everyone dies.
everyone dies. I mean, he's not part of the hierarchy, and
No.
only the hierarchy survives in that because those are the big money guys.
Not even them, really.
Yeah, it's very precarious.
Yeah, Bat was playing a dangerous role out there, and I imagine if he had stayed out any longer, he would have got clipped. He was tweaking at that time. Bat was into the meth, and I dare say young girls. That'll be another episode that we'll talk about. I don't think I want to disclose that now, but we'll talk about that in the future and Bat's business and practices out there. But let's get back into this.
It's an organization, so for him to exist this long, he's got to be doing something right.
Yeah.
He's got to be doing something right. I mean, he's shown his loyalty in terms of killings. He's killed a lot of people out there. I mean, this is a killing son of a gun right there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing all the hits over there. Then the San Diego boys are coming over and doing them for him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the guy's ingratiated himself with all these people. So maybe that's the ticket. I mean, it's just the means of his success.
He'd be like a double agent, too. I mean, maybe playing both sides against the middle. You know?
Maybe. I mean,
Both cartel families, they both use him just as a killer.
Well,
But they know who he is, so they just,
except that Rene was telling me earlier, his real name is
dingbat.
Dingbat.
really?
He's not too sharp.
That's what it comes from.
It's because he's a dingbat. I mean, that was his name when he was from San Diego, and once he became a Mexican Mafia member, he figured that it was undignifying to have a name like that, so he changed it to Bat. In fact, he doesn't like anybody calling him Dingbat anymore because he used to.
Yeah, that's the truth. They used to call him Dingbat. That's the name from the hood, and he did not like people calling him that because it's reminiscent of his Dingbat days, I guess. But that was his name.
I guess he used to get high on Sherm, or he was just so crazy in the way he used to act, and believe me, the guy is he's on the edge of his seat all the time.
Well, they say he's in meth down. He's in a meth down there.
In fact, when a family member went down there, he was consuming methamphetamine.
Well, if he's a tweaker, I mean, he won't last that
Yeah.
long.
He's lasted this long.
I know.
So he's got to be deep somewhere.
But that stuff kills you, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you've seen
Oh, yeah.
those tweakers, man. You just can't operate after a while.
Yeah, but he was deep in terms of his involvement with these individuals. Everybody knows that he's involved with the
Yeah.
cartels.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he has a vast amount of drugs. He has a lot of money. He has vast resources. As a matter of fact, they were planning to break out What Sherm from Pelican Bay State Prison just recently. There was an individual who just defected by the name of Joe Aguero from San Diego. And Widow Sherm sent him.
Yeah, let me break this down a little bit. When Joe debriefed, he had there was a plan with Widow Sherm to have them break out Widow Sherm. In fact, they were going to come, and Widow Sherm was going to feign a heart attack by consuming a lot of meth. He was going to feign a heart attack and be taken out to Southern Coast because any chest pains elevated heart rate. They take you straight out to the outside hospital. And Sherm had contacted Bat, and they were going to do it on a specific date after Bat sent him some meth. And Bat was going to come with a crew to stop the van taking Widow Sherm to the local hospital, Sutter Coast Hospital. They're adjacent to the prison in Sutter Coast, right in Crescent City, like a 2-mile drive at max. But they're going to stop that van, execute the CDC officers, and have a helicopter ready to fly Widow Sherm to Mexico with Bat. That was the real plan. Never transpired because Joe Aguero, Loco Joe, crazy-ass Joe from San Diego, locked up and told about the plot, and it stopped it dead in its tracks.
On dry runs to Sutter Coast Hospital in Crescent City is a little tiny rinky-dink place. The hospital is about this big, with the walls about this sturdy right here.
Where everybody goes.
Everybody goes there. I went there for surgery multiple times. Well, they sent this guy out through consuming meth. He consumed meth to an excessive amount, so it elevated his blood pressure, his heart rate, and he complained to the staff that he had chest pains. So they immediately took him out to Sutter Coast. He cased it out, and there's an individual on a specific date. This guy's going to go to the hospital with chest pains through methamphetamine use, and the group's going to be waiting for this guy to bust out. They've already thwarted this effort. Widow Sherm doesn't know that they're aware of it, but this individual that defected, I spoke with him. I was in the debriefing session, one of the few times in Pelican Bay that they've had 2 individuals in a debriefing room at once. The individual wouldn't debrief unless I was in there.
Huh.
So, because he was a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He dropped out after I dropped out. So he sat there talking with him about it, and I just listened to the whole story. He told me about it later on, and I talked to him personally, and they were actually going to implement this plan. Cartel's going to bust out a guy at Pelican Bay from Sutter Coast Hospital. And that's the kind of influence that Bat has. He can get a crew together to come do this. And they were supposed to leave from that point in helicopters back over to San Diego. But they have these kind of resources. They have money. So if you're looking for an individual that's successful, I mean, that has access to those resources, I'm not sure that he's personally wealthy, but I know he has contacts that he can utilize to get people to do things.
I mean, those guys down there, they deal with large amounts of cash.
Big money. Big money.
I mean, you don't have, to have a couple $1 million, I don't, or a couple $100,000 is nothing, I don't think.
That's nothing. I mean,
Come
and
by that.
they'll pop for it for that. I mean, it's no more than bringing a couple of guys up in a couple cars
Yeah,
and renting a helicopter.
yeah,
And then boom, you're gone.
yeah.
$100,000, $50,000, you could do it.
And therein lies the rub. I mean, that's why that corruption runs so deep. I mean,
Yeah.
because money's no object.
Really. In particular.
This is actually a pretty deep topic that Bat was going to bust out Widow Sherm. A lot of people don't know that he was going to bust him out of prison, that Fingers from San Diego was part of it, and Joe Aguero was part of it, and they were going to do this. They were really going to do this, but it got thwarted when Joe told about it. Joe Aguero, crazy Joe from San Diego, he flipped, and that's one of the guys that changed after he flipped. In fact, he was my buddy in Pelican Bay. I loved the guy. He was great. But as soon as he went to the THU and I saw him there after my debrief, he acted like he hated me. And I was like, well, F this guy then. And he just stayed away from me and the brothers after that. I guess it was the resentment of why he got put in the situation he got put in. I don't know what his own personal situation was, why Joe locked up. Because he wasn't like in the hat or anything. I don't remember him being politicked on. Maybe he just tweaked out on the meth and got paranoid, because I know they were getting plenty of it. But it surprised me the number of people that changed their attitudes once you locked up. Like they would change, and it was a common thing. And I noticed that about Joe.
For individuals that are impoverished,
Yeah.
I mean, the temptation has to be overwhelming.
I mean, even for a guy who's not, I mean, the money's just bigger. You're offering him millions instead of thousands,
Well, look at us. We work for little money,
Yeah.
and look at how corrupt we were.
Yeah.
And it's the power, actually.
Yeah.
It's the power that's the allure. It's the power.
Hey, go back to that, though. I mean, we only touched on that, really. It's like, here you are, a young guy from a middle-class family, or upper-middle-class family, and you get into all this crap. I mean, a lot of people would just look at that and go,
What is wrong with you?
yeah, or what happened? And
somewhere down the line, I crossed my priorities. I glorified these individuals, the homeboys that I seen in the neighborhood that wore the nice sharp clothes and got all the girls. I equated that with some type of success, the respect that they gathered from individuals, particularly the guys that got out of the joint. Everybody considered them veteranos, and they respected them.
But you were at Cerritos at the
I
time.
was in Cerritos at the time.
Did you see that many real gangsters there?
Really? I mean, they used to come to our house.
Yeah.
They were my brother's homeboys.
Yeah, my house was the hangout for the heads, the stoners, the jocks, the high school chicks, everybody, homegirls, homeboys. They all came to my garage. Our garage stayed open all night, and we were partying there. And we sold product, whatever was in vogue at the time, whether it was Reds or Fry or Acid or whatever it was, we were selling it. Weed, cannabinol, H, whatever, we had it, and people knew that. And then we were always drinking in there. We were always drinking beer, and it was always a party. And so the garage was a spot.
There was a place over there, Don Jose's, or Don...
Before my time, maybe?
It was a nightclub. And...
Sonoras, you talking about?
Yeah, eventually I think that's the new name for
The
it.
casino?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple places down there that everybody used to go to.
What was the name of your gang?
Artesia?
Artesia.
Arta. Yeah. It's Artesia. That was the gang I was from. But all those homeboys used to come to our house and hang out with my brother. So that's where I was exposed to them. And I see these guys that got out, the guys that they're tattooed down, and I said, well, these guys are respected. These guys are powerful. I mean, being part of the homeboy, it's like a surrogate family. Although I had a strong family, the family, my original family, my family of blood, I had a strong family. I had a loving family, a loving father, mother. I didn't come from a family where there was abuse and alcoholism.
No, that's a lie. That's when I was still in denial of what happened. I wasn't in denial. I just wasn't going to acknowledge it publicly, right? That I came from a family fraught with sexual abuse. I just didn't want to say it at the time, right? I still had that facade. I'm fresh out of the mob here, less than a year, and I still have that boxer reputation to protect. And I didn't want to reveal that. It took me years, over a decade, to really come to terms with being able to speak about it, right? And here it's just me glossing over it. I wanted the public to see me as a guy who took a wrong turn after having left a life from an idyllic family, like this Shangri-La Camelot family. It just wasn't that.
Drug addicted parents, and I didn't have none of that. I didn't have that in my family. I came from a good family, but this just attracted me. My brother got into this, and then I just, I followed his footsteps. And I just seen those individuals as the type of individuals that were powerful, they were well respected, and the acceptance that you got in that surrogate family was that any idiosyncrasy that you had, that was actually praised.
Yeah, they really were attractive to me. I mean, I was drawn to gang members, homeboys, veteranos, the guys that had the chicks. They were smooth, right? They had hot chicks, and I was just a dorky kid, geeky, dorky kid that, fumbled along, and I wanted to be accepted. And I equate that to the low self-esteem, the childhood trauma that I experienced, right? I just wanted to belong, and I gravitated towards the gang as a surrogate family because I found abuse in my family, and it was dysfunctional. I think that was the ideology, the genesis of my gravitating towards gangs.
So you were actually accepted in those gangs.
And were you into sports or anything like that as a kid?
None of that as a kid. I mean, I ran track, but I never got into football like my brothers did or anything like that.
How many brothers did you have?
I have 13 brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
13 from 3 different marriages. 5 from my mother and father, and 1 from
the first family for both of them?
No, that's the second for both of them.
For both of them.
And my father actually has a third. Now I have a brother that's 5 years old and a sister that's 16 right now.
Yeah, your dad told me that.
He's prolific.
And then he had a first family of...
He had a first family in Georgia where I have 2 brothers and a sister. Mm-hmm. Then I had us 5. My mother had 2 sons and a daughter, my brother Mondo and Victor, and my sister Gloria. And then my dad has 2 more kids here. Plus, I think I have another sister somewhere.
So you were sort of a broken family, though, in that respect.
I guess in that respect, in their marriages, but my family that I came from originally was...
But you don't remember tension over that or anything?
Never. We were always a close-knit family.
How old were you when your parents were divorced?
I was in prison already in San Quentin,
So they were married how many years?
27 years.
So that was a long time.
Long time, yeah. I mean, I was notified of their divorce. I was already in prison a few years in San Quentin, and I found out about it.
Yeah, so there weren't a lot of, like, family problems then?
No, there weren't a bunch of family fights or over money, none of that. I just never went through that. I never experienced that in my family. I mean, there was natural fights between my mom and my dad, but it wasn't, the things where there was physical violence. I mean, there were arguments, obviously. No marriage is perfect.
You know what? And that is a lie right there. Because I remember my mom cracked my dad in the head with an ashtray. I think I said that just recently. So I'm trying to gloss over everything that's ugly in my family. And because my dad was unfaithful to my mom many times. And she would go off when she found out about it. One time she took a screwdriver to my dad's place of work and was going to stab a lady that worked there. Another time, my mom and dad were arguing, and my mom, remember those thick glass ashtrays, right? Thick, huge ones. She cracked him over the head and busted him in the head with it. But I never saw my dad hit my mom. He never did. He never did. My dad was old school, and he would not hit her. Even if she hit him, he would not strike back. And I never actually heard him cuss at her. She would cuss at him. It's crazy because my dad didn't do that. He ate it. That's who he was.
But he wasn't drunk and beating the hell out of her.
No, my dad was a good dad.
Yeah.
And my mom was a good mom.
Yeah.
She's a good mom. She was a loving mom. She took care of all of us.
How many brothers were gangsters?
Just me and my brother Mark.
The older one.
Yeah.
I got to tell you that my parents were good parents to me. I mean, my dad used to whoop us, and my mom whooped us when we did something wrong. And I guess in today's society, like getting whipped with a extension cord or a Hot Wheel track or a branch, that's abuse. It's a felony now, right? I mean, but it's old school. Like you got a line, you got the chancla, whatever was handy, you were getting, right? But they were good parents. They achieved the American dream, and I became the American nightmare.
And old John, he was a little stoner. And then my other brother Mondo, from my mom's first marriage, he was from White Fence Cherries, but I never seen him in that gang lifestyle. Only that he had lowrider cars. And my brother Victor had lowrider cars, and that's the only thing that I ever experienced. And we were exposed to a lot of East Los Angeles because my other brothers lived over there.
Your stepbrothers.
My half brothers.
Yeah.
They lived over there in East Los Angeles, in the heart of White Fence.
And they were older than you.
They were older than me. So we were always exposed to the gang life. I mean, we were always exposed to the seedier part of the town because we had to go back there and see my grandma all the time and my brothers. And so we always had those ties to the community. But I was raised in a different environment. So if they say environment is the direct influence, the key, I mean, that would be wrong as well, I guess. I don't know what factors would contribute to my gravitation towards that. Maybe just a poor sense of prioritizing.
Yeah.
Maybe just a glorification of the rebellious aspect in the gang life.
Maybe just something in your personality. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe just a bad choice.
Maybe.
You might have been too smart for your own good.
It was the water, maybe.
But Lalo, I remember saying that.
Lalo.
Did you know Lalo?
Lalo from Eulalio Martinez? From Sangra? I mean, Lomas?
No, this is from Compton.
I
I know.
can't think of Lalo's
You're talking about
real name.
Edward,
Yeah.
the little youngster, Lalo?
Yeah.
I know Lalo.
No.
Yeah,
He said that, though, too. I mean, he came from, like, a family of 6, 7 kids.
yeah.
One was, I think, a teacher.
The little chubby guy? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, Lalo.
Yeah.
Edward, Eduardo,
I'm trying to think of his last name, too.
Is it Ramirez?
No, it's a real common name, though.
Yeah.
I know him.
He's
Good
got a
friend of
brother
mine.
out in Victory Outreach, too.
I know him.
His brother's a minister
Yeah.
in Victory Outreach.
Yeah. But anyway,
And old John.
I remember this guy, Lalo from Compton. His last name was damn, I'm still forgetting it right now. I just read it the other day too. Yeah, he was my little buddy. I remember one time I gave him a big sack of weed in the county jail, and I says, "Hey man, when I leave, because I was going to court, I says, keister this, place this, hoop this, right?" And I said, he said, okay. I says, I make sure and hoop it. I don't want to lose it, right? It's like an ounce, 2 ounces. I don't know what it was. But I just got it in the county jail. And I go to court and I come back and I look at him. He looks all nervous and all pooch mouthed and frightened, right? I told him, what's up? I said, where's the clavo? He says, I lost it. I said, what do you mean that you lost it? Yeah, he had it in a trash bag hanging outside of the bars, I believe, and they would come regularly. Cops would just snatch those trash bags because people would put their shanks in them, all that, so they couldn't get booked. They couldn't get charged with it because it's outside their cell and everybody had access to it. So people would hang these trash bags on their bars and put their contraband in there. The cops knew that with gum snatch the trash bags. What did Lalo do? He put the dope in there and it got snatched. So I come back and he tells me, I lost it. I said, what do you mean you lost it? I told you to keister it. And he just looked down at the ground. He says, I didn't. And I went off on him. I just ripped him a new a-hole. So didn't I effing tell you not to leave it out because it would get lost? And I, you know what? I gave him a pass. I told him, just send me $500 and we're cool, you know? And that was it. You know, I lost out, and he survived it. I didn't put him in the hat or anything like that. So I liked him. He was a little chubby guy. And his sister used to come visit. I talked to her a couple times. She's pretty cool people, right? I really like that guy. I don't know what happened to him in life, but I hope he's well.
He said that too. He came from a family like 7
Moreno.
kids. Yeah, Eddie Moreno, of real strict Catholic family. Like he had I think 3 brothers.
Yeah, I know the whole family. They're
And
nothing like
one's a teacher, one's a doctor, I think, one's a nurse, one's a lawyer. And I remember him just saying, I just love those gangsters,
It was
I don't know
cool.
what it was. He said everybody else was on the right path.
He almost shot us when we were growing up one day. He was in the alley. He was barely old enough to walk around. He's in the alley, and we're walking down the alley, and I was with one of the Mata brothers, and he's standing there. He's got a gun. We don't realize it, so we're just walking the alley. He's trying to make it work. It was a zip gun, Bam!
Yeah.
Hey! Bam! He fires again, and this guy sees him, Mata runs at him, and bow, knocks him down, and gets the gun away from him. But he was already shooting at us. He could barely walk.
He said he just loved it. He just loved the whole
That's
world.
the allure. I mean, that's the catch. I mean, you get into the gang, and I mean, the girls, you have girls left and right. I mean, they're willing to have sex with you at the drop of a hat. I mean, you have respect from the homeboys. It's a different world. It's a different world than going to school and working, and you could deal drugs, you make easy money, and that was part of it too, the easy money. And I was always a hustler in my time.
Yeah, that was like the main thing. The chicks, the money, the power, that was the allure. And it was like fast money and easy money. I didn't understand that. My dad was trying to teach me how to, be part of his business. My dad had a business called Resin Craft Decorating Industries, but I'd have to go to work, and I got minimum wage. I think it was $2.60 an hour back then. And I didn't want to work for nickels and dimes. I could make more money just selling product out of my garage. And that's what I got into. That's what I was. I was a hustler. I always knew how to make money, and that's what I did. And that's what I really got attracted to, is like the women. The women were just throwing themselves at you back in that time. It's no different today, but that's what attracted me about the life. That and like having a sense of belonging. Oh my gosh! And look. That quickly, we've ended the video. Have no fear. We have another one coming up at some point. We got maybe 5 or 10 more of these. I don't know. We're getting close to the end of this video series. But again, I just want to give you guys a heads up. I started reading the book already. We filmed a few episodes on it, and they're being edited right now. I think they're going to require further editing because it's just me reading the book, and I think that'll be kind of flat. I think that we should run the video of me reading the book, and then I stop and interject like this and tell the anecdotes, so that you get all the little anecdotes and the side story. So we're thinking about how to develop this. It's already in the can, and it's going to be coming to you soon. Have no fear. I promised it, just like I promised you Maxim Road, just like I promised you my debrief. It's all coming to you, folks. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Another episode of Being Made is in the can, folks. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Boots.